It is a great movie, don't think so? Well, it's one of my favorites. As you know, we used this video clip to take some ideas and imagine how the life will be in 2046. In the previous lesson, we learned about the simple future, and we learned about will is the auxiliary to build these sentences. For example, we said the cars will fly for the affirmative sentence, the cars won't fly for the negative sentences, and will the cars fly for interrogative sentences. Then, to make easier to express our ideas in simple future, we remember and practice some verbs in Quizlet. For example, this.
Estar ser. Estar ser. To do. Hacer. To have. Tener.
At this point, we remember that in Spanish, the H is silent, but in English, when the H is next to a vowel, here we say H plus a vowel sound, it's like the sound J, J in Spanish. For example, in the next words, how do you read the next one? The first one, great, ham. No, ham. The next one, great, hello, hello. The next one, great, Hillary, Hillary. The next one, great, excellent, home, home. And the last one, hummingbird, hummingbird. Okay, can you remember some other word that the capital letter is H plus a vowel? Great. After that, I asked you to write about how do you imagine the life will be in 2046. Sounds like a hard task, don't think so? Well, to make it easier, I suggest some issues about you can write. I asked you to think about how the cars will be in the future, about the fashion, the cell phones, and the houses. Well, it's just a suggestion. You can talk about anything you want. The activity for today is to talk about what we wrote in the previous lessons. We have to stand right here in front of all classmates and then talk about what we wrote. It's not easy, right? Well, you have to remember all that facts, all that information you wrote about. Well, today I'm going to teach you some cool strategy to help you to remember all you wrote, all the information. It's awesome. It is called the mind palette method. Okay, for do this, we have to imagine we are going to give a tour about our houses. But to make it easier, we are going to use as base our own school. So we have to imagine we are walking around all our school, and then we have to imagine some strange things happening in each one classroom to help us to remember all the information we wrote. For example, have you noticed that the first classroom in the school is Mrs. Dominguez's classroom? This classroom is next to the parking lot. Well, you can imagine yourself sitting in the classroom of Mrs. Dominguez, and then you look away to the window, and what do you see? Some strange thing flying right above the school and surrounded once and twice, and then it's parking right in front of you. What is it? It's a strange modern flying car. This will help you to remember what you wrote about the car in the future? Well, the second classroom in the school is Mrs. Rodriguez. Have you noticed that Mrs. Rodriguez always came to the school with a cool dress? Well, the trick in this one is to imagine Mrs. Rodriguez, but in this time wearing an astronaut's clothes. It's strange, right? Well, then you can imagine you're walking to the next classroom and then you see Mrs. Rodriguez in an astronaut clothes. Well, this will help you to think about what you wrote about the fashion in the future. So you can imagine you're walking around the school and watching all the classrooms and relating in each classroom with an strange thing. This strange thing is related with a thing you wrote in your text. In this way you can remember all the way you have to say in your speech. It's an awesome way to remember things, don't think so? Well, you have 10 minutes to prepare it and then you are to present it in front of all your classmates. Thank you.